So let's talk about a company you've definitely seen, but maybe never really noticed. A true invisible giant that's literally foundational to the world around us. This is our explainer on United Rentals. Just look around you for a second. The building you're in, the bridge you might have driven over today, the power lines that keep the lights on, all of it is built by real people using some seriously heavy machinery. It's a scene we see all the time, the picture of progress. But it does beg the question, right? Where does all that equipment actually come from? Who's the support system for the people and the companies out there literally building our future from the ground up? Well, we're about to dive into an industry that's basically hiding in plain sight. An industry that figured out how to turn the simple act of renting equipment into a massive, multi-billion-dollar business. And this, right here, is the official purpose of United Rentals. It's really smart when you think about it. They're not just saying, we rent forklifts. They're framing themselves as a critical partner in, well, building the world of tomorrow. So why would a huge construction firm rent a multi-ton crane instead of just buying one? Well, it actually makes a ton of sense. For a construction company, their main job is building things, not owning and maintaining a giant, expensive fleet of equipment. Renting frees up their cash, it gets rid of the massive headache of repairs, and it lets them get the perfect tool for that specific job right when they need it. It basically transforms a huge, risky capital expense into a simple, predictable operating cost. Okay, so becoming the top dog in this space, well, it takes a lot more than just having the biggest warehouse full of gear. Let's take a look at the actual blueprint United Rentals used to completely dominate this market. They really win on 5 key fronts. First, just having absolutely everything a customer could ever need. That's breadth. Then, making sure it's available everywhere through a massive network. That's their scale. They back it all up with a team of almost 28,000 experts, and then they layer on top of all that technology and data to make the whole thing smarter. It's just a crazy powerful combination. And this chart right here, wow, it tells the whole story. Just look at these growth numbers. While the entire rest of the industry is growing at a pretty healthy 6.6% a year, United Rentals is cruising along at 10%. They're not just riding a wave, they are actively stealing market share from all their competitors combined. And the bedrock of all this dominance? It's their sheer physical footprint. We're talking over 1,700 locations. Now, that isn't just a big number. It means they can get a piece of equipment to a job site faster and more reliably than anybody else. It's like a logistical moat around their business that is just incredibly difficult for anyone else to cross. But here's where it gets really interesting. Their most powerful advantage might not be what you think. Let's look at their secret weapon. Because it isn't just about the heavy steel, it's about the data that flows from it. Take a look at this. This is their killer app, Total Controlware. And you can really think of it like air traffic control, but for a construction site. It lets customers manage every single piece of equipment they're renting, and even the stuff they own themselves, all in one dashboard. They can see where everything is, how much is being used, and manage the whole rental process from their computer. And of course, that kind of power isn't chained to a desk. Their mobile app puts all of that control right into the pocket of the site manager or the foreman, right there on the job site where the actual decisions are being made in real time. So how does all this magic work? Well, it comes down to one word: telematics. Basically, by putting sensors in their equipment, they've built the largest connected fleet in the entire industry. This creates this constant fire hose of data on everything from fuel levels to when a machine needs service, which helps their customers boost safety and uptime. So, how in the world did they build this absolute empire of steel and data? A huge piece of the puzzle is their relentless and frankly brilliant strategy for growing through acquisitions. And you can see, this was no overnight success. This was a long game, played out carefully over decades. They started by just consolidating the market to become a leader. Then they completely transformed their core business, and now they're using their massive scale and tech to push their advantages even further. Yeah, a key part of this whole plan is what's known as a roll-up strategy. The equipment rental market is full of tons of smaller, local players. So they just systematically bought and integrated over 250 of these other companies. It let them grow their footprint and their customer base way faster than they ever could have organically. And that growth strategy has built them a business that is incredibly diverse and resilient. You know, you might look at them and think it's all construction, right? Nope, not even close. That's less than half their business. Almost 50% comes from industrial customers. We're talking manufacturing plants, utilities, even things like disaster response and the entertainment industry. That diversity really protects them if one particular sector has a downturn. So, why does all of this matter? Why are we talking so much about a rental company? Because the story of United Rentals is about more than just one company. It's really a blueprint for how technology and service are completely transforming even the most old school physical industries. It all comes back to their mission, doesn't it? But, is helping build a better future just a nice sounding corporate slogan? Let's check the data. They've set this really ambitious goal to cut their greenhouse gas emissions intensity by 35% by the year 2030, and they're well on their way to hitting it. By making their whole operation more efficient and investing in new tech, they're basically proving that huge industrial scale and sustainability can actually go hand in hand. When you dig into their company reports, you'll see terms like fleet productivity. And yeah, it sounds like really dry business speak, but it's actually the secret sauce of their entire business. It's this one number that tells them how well they're balancing prices, how often their gear is actually being used, and if they have the right mix of equipment. It's the ultimate report card for efficiency. So if you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. United Rentals took a massive, complicated, expensive headache for businesses, owning and maintaining heavy equipment, and they completely transformed it into a simple, efficient, high-tech service. That right there is the genius of their model. And it kind of leaves us with one last thought, doesn't it? In an age where data and new service models are just completely reshaping everything, it makes you wonder, what other essential, invisible giants are out there quietly operating in the background, shaping the very world we live in?